It's been 84 years, well, 13 to be exact, but for fans of the first Avatar film, it's certainly been an admirable wait. While there are definitely more movies, books, and even musical performances that have waited on a new appearance for far longer, the 2009 release of the first movie had viewers clamoring for more. Now that James Cameron is finally back with the newest installment, let's finally dive into the hype and see what to expect. First off, a look into the first trailer. It's been a long time coming, but the first trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water is finally here. Stunning is an understatement because the filmmakers have been working tirelessly with some of the hottest names in the VFX and CGI sector of the industry, seeing how this movie has a mind-blowing development time for over 10 years. There's been a lot of speculation about how the movie was made, but there is no way anything as incredible as the trailer could have used the practical and mainstream techniques of filmmaking. Let's not forget that this was a whole movie that needed to be made this way. It's no wonder it took so long. Now that's dedication, or maybe an amazing budget, because in an evolving world of an anti-capitalistic generation, there is no way anyone could work on a project this strenuous for so long unless there was a guarantee for success. Then again, it doesn't look like Cameron and his team have much to worry about. Garnering a whopping 112 million views in just 24 hours, the anticipation for his new movie is not a lie. Either way, it's not a surprise considering how much attention the teaser got back in May when it was released during CinemaCon, bringing about an impressive viewership of 148 million views. Up next, what it's all about. The regions of Pandora will be getting so much more exploration now that Jake Sully, Sam Worthington, has become part of the Na'vi way of life. Now that he's formed a family with Neytiri, Zoe Saldana, they must do everything they can to stay together in the face of all the trials and tribulations that Pandora brings for them. An ancient threat looms over them, but that simply isn't enough for the runtime this film has. We get a glimpse of the new antagonist, Colonel Quaritch, Stephen Lang, who's leading the humans in their efforts to mine Pandora's resources, following up the depths to make it. For imaginatives, creatives, and landscape enthusiasts alike, this film is going to be a Christmas present that's been long overdue. This movie is a huge step up in terms of production value, storytelling, and insane art direction. Design-wise, it's shown to be an innovation to the extreme, and one can only imagine the many lifetimes and the many minds it must have taken to curate every single plant and creature for this beautiful paranormal dimension. All this is, of course, easily rooted in Cameron's fascination with life under the ocean, and it's what inspired the direction of the new Avatar movie. Thing is, not everyone is thrilled about his way into the way. Sigourney Weaver, who plays 14-year-old Kiri, daughter to Jake and Neytiri, talked about her worries for Cameron after his trip to the Mariana Trench. She worried constantly about his survival and hoped that he would return alive to make a new movie. Following the footsteps of Titanic's filmmaker, in March 2012, Cameron descended 7 miles into the ocean to reach the Mariana Trench. He spent a total of more time aboard the RMS Titanic than its actual commander did, having made more than 30 trips so far to the once magnificent fallen ship, which found its resting place about 2 miles under the water near the Canadian province of Newfoundland. What do you think? Is Cameron taking his love for this series a little too far? We suppose masterpieces take some risks, but this poses another debate about the risks that may eventually keep the masterpiece from happening. Let's look at what the cast has to say. What do the film stars think about this latest preview? We've rounded up some of the best comments from the actors and actresses who are bringing Avatar: The Way of Water to life. Zoe Saldana said, "I'm so excited for people to see this trailer," who returns as Neytiri in the sequel. "It's been such a joy to work on this film, and I can't wait for everyone to see it." Sam Worthington, who reprises his role as Jake Sully in Avatar: The Way of Water, echoed Saldana's excitement, saying, "This trailer is just a taste of what we have in store for audiences." He added that viewers can expect an epic adventure when they see the film. Cliff Curtis, who plays Tonawari in Avatar: The Way of Water, talked about what it was like filming in an underwater setting. "It was unlike anything I've ever done before," he said. And Cliff is right, because it was quite a challenge for most of the cast. Instead of using CGI to create the underwater sequences, Cameron had the performers receive training from the world's greatest breath hold specialists while submerged in enormous water tanks. It seems like Cameron wasn't the only one who had to build up mental stamina for a project like this. When questioned why real water was used instead of effects, Cameron responded simply, "Because it looks good." Not to mention bathroom breaks. We have to talk about the screen time because this movie is the longest yet in the Avatar franchise. We're sure there will be intermissions to let the story sink in with the audiences once the movie is released though. There is no way any of us can sit through 3 hours and 10 minutes of the movie. This includes the credits, but are we really the kind to miss out on any hidden gems? Sure, it's not a Marvel movie, but there's more to the Avatar franchise than people might have initially expected. It's not the first movie to be this long, but others aren't able to justify it the way Cameron has. Pandora is such an extensive region to cover, which means there's hardly room for boredom with all the new discoveries the audience will be making. Cameron said that he wants audiences to lose themselves in the movie, and with its stunning visuals visuals and immersive story, Avatar looks like it will certainly achieve that goal. Moving on, the future of Avatar. There's more where it came from. James Cameron doesn't intend on slowing down, whether people want it or not, because he already has the third and fourth movies planned. Despite this, he's been pretty vocal about his uncertainty about making more movies for the Avatar franchise. There is no way but up ever since the first movie was released, and for the next ones to fall short is sure to be a blow to his ego, and perhaps his career as well. Making movies isn't easy or cheap. There are bills to pay, mouths to feed, and an investment to receive returns on. At the end of the day, it's a world of business, and money runs the passion. Much promise goes into the proposal to secure the funds for such ambitious projects, and creators can only hope that the turnout will be as astronomical as the hard work they've put into it. Something like the Avatar, though, is on a whole new level, and Cameron didn't wait for no reason to make it. When you've done something that's been that transcendent in terms of success, do you really want to go try and do that again, he says? There's a lot of pressure on it. I thought about it for a good 2 years before we finally made a deal. The movie is an ambitious project that took a long time to complete since it combines underwater cinematography with motion capture technology. Despite being concerned about whether The Way of Water would still be relevant to audiences after more than 10 years, Cameron has frequently discussed waiting for the technology to be good enough for him to produce it. Finally, what platforms will release it? Avatar: The Way of Water will be released on December 16th this year in RealD 3D, Dolby Cinema, IMAX, and IMAX 3D formats. It'll also be released on Disney+. But really, when it comes to a movie like this, who's going to miss out on the immersive experience by not going to theaters? You can bet the pre-bookings will run out in record time, and the seats will be jam-packed. With how excited the general public seems about the movie, we're sure to see a lot more than just out-of-stock tickets. There might be hyped-up resales of the tickets as well, and this only goes to show the impact such movies have. Remind you of anything? Well, if you were there for the release of Marvel's Avengers Endgame, the scenario for Avatar: The Way of Water is going to be a familiar one for you guys, with fans, enthusiasts, and casual viewers all clamoring over each other for a glimpse of the movie. We're expecting shattering records for the worldwide box office gross when Avatar 2 is released. So, what do you guys think? How is the franchise looking so far? Would you wait more than 10 years for your favorites to make a comeback like this? For more news, like and subscribe to our channel and keep up with the hottest news in town. That's all for today.